The movie I'm doing is The Devil Wears Prada. The movie is centered around Andy, a recent college graduate in need of a job. She winds up being hired by one of the most strict and cutthroat women of the fashion industry, Miranda. The environment of the office is very hostile. Everybody walks on eggshells. The vanity is very high, with most of the women in the office being insecure about their rates. Andy's direct line of contact with her boss is Emily, the senior assistant. Emily is a very odious, insecure, and judgmental person who frequently comments on others' appearances. She's a product of her environment by letting the fashion world get to her mind, resulting in her insecurities. Emily draws a lot of attention from the audience due to her comments on eating and body weight. Emily's who I to be doing my project on. Emily has nervosa, an eating disorder. This is described as maintaining a below average body weight through starvation or excessive cardio. People that struggle with this often faint, lose their menstrual cycles, and face other major health issues. The film's culture definitely influences the diagnosis. It's very strict in the fashion industry to be slim. The beauty standard in Western society is to be slim. If she went to therapy in the movie, they would definitely diagnose her with the same thing. Especially in that culture, it makes the most sense for Emily to be diagnosed with the eating disorder because it's so prominent in the fashion industry. I do believe the disorder is diagnosed in all cultures. The reason being is due to social media, with so many young girls and women being exposed to slimmer bodies. It leads to extreme eating disorders across the world, and so many people trying to become like what they see. Proof of this has been done in the study of Norwegian adolescents between the social media and eating disorders. In the article, it states 56.7% of participants reported that one or more of the social media platforms they were currently using had a negative influence on how they felt about their appearance. This article shows evidence that even the young girls themselves admit social media affects how they see themselves. Many of them probably wouldn't struggle with eating disorders if they hadn't had it. People often say that people with eating disorders are doing it for attention when it really is a mental battle that individuals face. Another common stigma is minimizing the severity of the disorder. People often call it a phase that young girls go through, or saying that it's fine to be concerned about your weight. In actuality, a lot of these girls need to be put into therapy because they're starving themselves to the point where they could die. Evidence for this for me was one symptom she displays, as said by the DSM-5, the restriction of energy intake relative to requirements leading to significantly low body weight. Emily says she's on a new diet where she doesn't eat anything and she waits until she's almost about to faint to eat a cube of cheese. She also mentions how she's only one stomach flu away from her goal weight, insinuating that she starves herself to be thin. In the article, Frequency of Disorder Eating Habits Among Fashion Models, it says the average BMI of fashion models was in the underweight range, the mean BMI being 18.1. This shows how it is normalized to be underweight to model, and it's glorified. Another symptom she displays is the intense fear of gaining weight or becoming fat, even though she's underweight. It shows through her projection of constantly talking about her peers' weights and her own body weight. An example of this is when Andy offered her clothes she got from Paris, and she said, "I have to get them taken in; they'll drown me." Proving that she considers Andy fat when Andy is a healthy body weight. Emily also talks about how she has to be extremely thin for when she goes to Paris. The final symptom, or her weakest symptom, was a disturbance about body weight or shape, undue influence of body weight or shape on self-evaluation, or denial of the seriousness of current low body weight. This shows through her being thrilled and even shocked at the fact that Andy called her thin at Miranda's event. In the article Understanding Eating Disorder Symptoms in Adolescence, it says a large base of evidence has been accumulated demonstrating that perfectionism is associated with symptoms of eating disorders. This shows that a lot of these symptoms are connected with the fact that these girls just want to be seen as perfect enough for the industry, showing why there is such a disturbance in their body shape to them. The best treatment plan to her for me was psychotherapy. This would give her the room to talk about, well, one-on-one and with a group. This would give her the room to talk about the things she deeply struggled with in private, and group. This would give her the room to talk about things that she deeply struggles with in private, and in group therapy, it gives her the opportunity to hear that others are going through the same thing and that she's not the only one struggling. The main ethical concerns would be confidentiality and not knowing that her business would get out. I think Emily would have the fear of her business getting out, or like a judgment, or like a therapist judging her. A societal barrier that might hinder Emily from receiving proper treatment would be continuing to work in the toxic industry that she does and being surrounded around women who normalize eating disorders. Ultimately, I do think that psychotherapy is the best form of treatment for Emily because in the article Evidence Based Psychotherapy for Eating Disorders, it says supportive therapeutic interventions that provide empathy, support, and positive behavioral reinforcements may be more appropriate, showing that psychotherapy is a good start until they're ready to start working behaviorally back to eating. Overall, I would say the movie is a very accurate portrayal of the disorder. I say this because I live on a college campus with plenty of girls with eating disorders, and I myself have gone through the same thing. I think that social media influences our thoughts a lot on it, and I think that constantly seeing disorders in media leads you to believe that that's how it really is in real life, and it leads you to believe that, or just have negative connotations on certain disorders. So yeah.